This week we do our part to honor our troops. Brave soldiers of Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield joined forces with the angler and the appetite in a showdown at sea, and then chow down on a couple of spectacular culinary concoctions courtesy Chef Schumm of Tybee Island and Fort Stewart's own Chef Nino.
Twins.
Anglers and Appetites is coming right up. I do the catching, and Phil does the cooking.
I can be taught.
Well, sort of. From mountain streams to deep blue seas and everything in between.
Here we go. Hey!
You see, here's how it works. I love fishing, but I'm not the country's greatest angler, but I know how to find the best, and oh yeah, they make me look good. Phil, he's the appetite. And he may not be the best chef, but he learns from the best and, of course, eats from the best. And as you'll see, we don't waste our time. Off to the coast. Just a few miles from the pristine shores of Savannah lies Fort Stewart, home to the legendary 3rd Infantry Division, the Army's premier force for decisive action. This massive base is often the final stop before our soldiers head into action.
Fort Stewart is home to the 3rd Infantry Division, and that is one of the most storied and historic divisions in the U.S. Army. There's about 30,000 soldiers here, and it's all about readiness.
But believe it or not, it's also a destination where the general public can come and enjoy some fishing, a pleasant round of golf, and more importantly, pay respects to the brave men and women who gave their lives for our freedom.
Fort Stewart, while we are what is considered a closed post for security reasons, we're open. Anyone with a driver's license can go to the Visitor Access Center and come visit, play a round of golf. Anything that's open to the soldiers and the Army civilians is also open to our neighbors in Southeast Georgia.
And today it was time for the angler and the appetite to show these soldiers a little fun on the water. So we met up dockside at Miss Judy Charters, whose team has been kicking fishtail in the Savannah area since 1956.
My folks are ready to go. How about yours?
My guys are ready to go, at ease. Team Appetite took the inshore adventure, and I led Team Angler out to the deep.
1, 2, 3, Team Appetite! Woo!
Team Angler had a long haul in store, so we bolted ahead of the inshore soldiers, led by Captain Tommy Williams, who began the day on fire, inspired by Kevin from Queens, who was hoping for the first fish of his life.
That's the face of a competitor right there. That's the face of a guy that knows he's gonna catch about 16 flounder, trout, and anything else that's out there. You the man. I don't care what he said about you. All right, Kevin, come on, baby. We got, whoa, look at Kevin. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I got a guy that has never been fishing before. Look what he brings up. You should be proud, you know, man.
I can't believe that was your first time.
I know,
It's
you
like
just
a
threw it
seasoned
out.
angler.
All right, but here's the deal, Kev. You gotta put that damn juice back and get some more, okay?
He's all about quality. Spotted sea trout.
Good, man.
I've gone fishing 0 times before today, and it was an awesome experience, you know. Just, I kind of say, I could now truly say I really like fishing. It's just so much fun, you know, it's relaxing. It takes your mind off other things, and if you have the right people around you, you just enjoy it.
Definitely a keeper.
What I think you're saying is Team Appetite is blowing the competition out of the water.
We're getting them.
We got the troops from Fort Stewart out here, Tommy. Give me your assessment of what you've seen thus far.
Pulling fish in right and left.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about what you've seen from these guys thus far.
They're great fishermen. They're having a great time. Fish are biting. At least the bait's getting gone.
Hey, Jason, what's going on, man? Why is it that you seem to be losing your shrimp?
They stealing my bait, and they let me know about it.
A black drum. He's not quite big enough. They gotta be 14 inches. A monster trout.
So Todd, up till now, I think Kevin had the biggest fish, man, but what do you think at this point?
I think we're eating really good later on.
And Team Appetite still doing the thing?
Oh, we're killing them. No contest. Hope you're hungry.
Kevin, in honor of your biggest fish, I think this was bigger than the last one. Big Phil always keeps him a couple pieces of white bread. Y'all know I'm gonna take this thing down, right? Okay, there we go.
Badia Spices is the soul of cooking. Established in 1967 by Jose Badia, this high-quality spice company is still a family business under the leadership of Joseph Pepe Badia. Badia Spices delivers more than 350 different products, including an amazing line of organic products to 90 countries around the world. Badia Spices, the creators of the original complete seasoning, available at your local retailer.
That looks like a shake, doesn't it? Yeah, look at it.
This is Ted's territory. A place where things are inspired by the big sky spirit. And where you'll know, after your first bite, that it's something you'll find only at Ted's. Ted's Montana Grill.
Team Appetite was off to a good start, but so were the anglers.
Corporal Robert Gazzardo, Staff Sergeant Jason Jones, Sergeant First Class Derek Hatfield.
Captain Ken Kinnickle and First Mate Deidre Helmy Jeffcoat got us rolling miles from shore, trolling for bluefish and Spanish mackerel.
Opposite of what you're used to. So when that rod stands up and starts bouncing, then you know you got a fish on.
Come on, Derek.
This is a bluefish.
Bluefish.
And he might be a keeper.
I know bluefish we sometimes turn into bait. There you go, one each. Unless he loses it. He's on there.
Okay.
You got him.
Bluefish.
There we go.
And another bluefish. Nobody's been offshore like this before. Well, hopefully these Spanish are going to start biting here soon. That's what we're really trying to get. But these bluefish are a lot of fun, so hopefully we'll get a mixed bag affair here going.
Are you doing these at 3 different distances?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The bigger planer is going to pull down deeper. The smaller planer is not going to pull quite as deep. And the further back they go, the deeper they go. So there's several elements involved.
Yeah. The hot rod. Spanish. Yeah, first Spanish. It's another Spanish. And I think it's bigger than the other one. Nice. It was awesome. We really haven't seen that many bluefish yet, so I was really excited. And Spanish are just kind of dear to my heart. They're so much fun, especially when you have kids, and these were just big kids.
From there, we brought in our lines and motored even further out to sea, where we dropped our bait on a sunken barge miles from land and delivered a whole mess of tasty sea bass along with a couple of white grunts, also known as pigfish, or more tastily renamed in these parts as a variety of snapper, and lucky for us, they put up a good fight.
Sea bass.
That's a beautiful sea bass, but she too is just a little small.
Ah.
We'll let her grow up.
Double.
Oh, look at you. What you got going on? That looks pretty good.
Put us on a good spot here.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yes, sir.
no, snapper.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Snapper.
Let's get him in the boat.
Yes! Yes! Tell us what we got, Deidre.
This is called a hog-nosed snapper. Some people also call them a white grunt. Got a good picture of this one?
Yeah. See what you got on there. There were two on there. There was two hooks.
I think the other one just got away. These are females that we're catching right now.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll get a male and I'll be able to show you the difference here.
See ya. Yeah. Yeah, we got our keeper, folks. Woo!
Hold that for me?
Yeah.
All right, this is a male.
Boom. Male sea bass. Show how we can tell.
All right. You see, this was probably turning into a male. They're all born females, and they get a hump on their head here, and then they start to get the blue and green in them, and their tail becomes a little bit more spread out.
So they begin as females and grow up to become a man.
They become man or males as the school requires. So if there's more females, then some will turn into males to help repopulate.
Sounds alien.
I know. But you know what? There are quite a few species that do that.
Oh, it was a double.
I saw it counts.
Mona, that wouldn't lie.
Y'all keep up with how many you catch personally.
That's got
Whether they're keepers or not.
Here we go. Behind the back.
Ooh, what do you have?
Oh yeah, there it is, there it is. Yes sir, that's what you're wanting.
Nice fish.
That sucker. How long were you reeling him up?
It was a minute. I had the sea bass on there with him too.
Look at that mouth, man. Came and took it. This one was bending the rod here. You're a little jealous of Phil, because being a big guy, he gets to eat a lot. And I kept talking about Phil eating. That's when you jumped in and kind of said, hey, I'm gonna do some eating too.
Well, jealousy is not the thing I'd say I am of him, but and I could probably out eat him any day, but.
Oh, did you hear that, Phil? That's a challenge, folks. Sea bass, that's kind of what we were hunting for today.
Oh yeah, that's what we're looking for today.
No, he looks a little smaller when you're holding him. Woo! Hold up your fish, sir.
It's a delicious fish too.
Yep, snapper.
I love me some snapper.
Look at that sucker. Woo. I had a great time talking with you today.
It was great.
And thanks for your service as well, sir.
No problem.
All right, now we gotta wash our hands.
I know, right?
Team Angler.
Badia Spices is the soul of cooking. Established in 1967 by Jose Badia, this high-quality spice company is still a family business under the leadership of Joseph Pepe Badia. Badia Spices delivers more than 350 different products, including an amazing line of organic products to 90 countries around the world. Badia Spices, the creators of the original complete seasoning, available at your local retailer.
That looks like a shake, doesn't it? Yeah, look at it.
This is Ted's territory. A place where things are inspired by the big sky spirit. And where you'll know, after your first bite, that it's something you'll find only at Ted's. Ted's Montana Grill.
With a couple of these grunts, aka snapper, and plenty of Spanish mackerel in hand, the troops delivered their catch to the Appetite, who is setting up the skillet with Chef Curtis Schumm of the highly acclaimed, keeping it local, Tybee Island Fish Camp.
Chef Curtis Schumm, what's up?
Hey, man.
Guess what?
You guys went fishing.
Yes, we
Again.
did. Again. Didn't David call you?
No, I wasn't invited.
Z, you were supposed to give him okay, I'll take that up with him later, okay?
I dig it.
Guys went out, and the Fort Stewart guys, once they got out there, it was on.
That's
Brought
awesome.
back a lot of fish.
Yeah.
And I understand they brought back something that you were very interested in.
Some fresh mackerel, which is like the king of the sea for me. It's like oily fish. It's great, this fresh. It was just filleted.
Moments ago.
Yep, we're gonna do it. It was swimming moments ago. And just in olive oil, really simple with some fresh ingredients. It's a super healthy fish. The coastal waters are so amazing. We've got all these barrier islands, which you're familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
They're like our natural filter. If there's anything bad in the ocean, as the tide comes up, it goes through that mud and that marsh, and it's like a natural filter.
Culinary skills. When did you develop them, and what was your motivation?
Motivation was you.
Oh, hang on. Tender moment. Tear coming down. Whoop, back into character.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's something that I really enjoy. Sitting down at a table with some people that you care about, sharing something that you enjoy, everybody bringing something to the table to talk about. Sometimes for me that's just food, and it's enjoyable when it's communal and when we can do that.
All right, so what are we doing now?
We're just gonna do some fresh local ingredients with this fresh local fish. The job is to stay out of the way on this thing. Just let it taste the way it should. We're not gonna cover this up with anything, man.
And how important is local to you?
All the way, man, because we all have to live in the same place. We all work in the same place. When we support each other, and when there's a vegetable that I don't know about that a farmer is growing, it's a blast. It's like, I didn't know about this. If I do like a magazine shoot or something, it makes me seem cool, and I'm not. I'm just like, oh, was that guy? Like, he's the one that told me about it.
Hey, don't let him fool you, y'all. He's pretty cool. I'm gonna tell you, he has a talent that I discovered that is phenomenal. You, at age 14, actually performed at the Bluebird Cafe. What was that like?
I was more nervous than this. So let's salt it. You gotta try this, man.
You want me to salt it?
No.
While you talk about your music
No, you
career?
salt it. It's good.
We had to go there, didn't we?
Well, I feel like that's the right amount of salt.
Oh, okay then. Just sprinkle a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Is that about it?
Yeah, that's it. Man.
So it's about time to taste it.
Yeah, but we didn't get forks.
No, you know what?
You can do it with a wine key, right?
Do I need a fork?
I'll get you a fork.
All right, while he decides to go off and get a fork, I'm just gonna taste it. You actually gotta put all this together. Kind of like the way it just comes inside and just like blows up in your mouth. Ooh, a lot of good flavors. Especially with the heirloom tomatoes, you got a lot of different colors here. And, hey man, you back?
Yeah.
Funny thing happened while you were gone.
I bet. That always works that way.
Yeah, you should try this. It's pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you know what really turned this thing on is when I sprinkled the salt on it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you not?
It was not the method that I'm used to.
Wait a minute. So now you're gonna talk about the way I did it. You know, Chef Curtis got a lot of crazy skills, and guess what? He told me there's another dish that we're gonna prepare, and all of a sudden, boom, Frank shows up. What's happening, Frank?
Hey, how's it going?
All right, buddy.
So Frank first he's gonna sear off some of the red snapper that was caught today, and this one's actually a hog snapper.
Mm-hmm.
The hog is kind of like the protector of the troops. So it's ironic that that's the one that was caught. He's the male that kind of looks out for all the females.
I got the play on words,
Yeah.
protector of the troops.
Yep. So this is what was caught today. The skin is beautiful.
I get to work with two chefs right now. This is pretty good. I can get to stand back and let them do everything.
That's the fun thing of being at a restaurant like this. We work with so many different fish products. This fish, when it hits the pan super hot, wants to curl up, and what happens when that happens is it'll just burn on the edges and not cook evenly in the center, so you don't get a well-balanced crust on it. So with that score, that helps bleed out what would happen with that crust. And then what he's gonna use is a fish spatula. It's got these holes in it. If you need to hold down a fish like that to make sure it evenly crusts, that allows the moisture to come up through these edges, because a good sear is all about removing moisture. And so you see how immediately it's starting to like curl up. So that's, you want to hold that down so it's a good even color on the bottom. Fish, in order to taste right, must swim 3 times in water, in butter, and in wine.
You know that's gonna be real good, right? Just because.
And you can smell it, right?
Yeah, I know, I can smell it, but it's got butter. Drizzle it, man, drizzle it. I can sit around and have all the great conversations with the chefs I want.
Just go ahead and take the fork.
But until I take the fork, and until the appetite does what the appetite does,
yeah,
it's all just a plate.
So you're going for the shard first.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it.
And you know why? Because I love that crunchiness of the shard. You didn't kill it.
Yep.
That was phenomenal. You know what? That whole infusion.
Yeah,
with
man.
The wine, the butter.
Yeah.
This is what I've been waiting for. And this is what I gotta say. Z, you and the fellas went out today. Y'all had a great time. I just want to thank you for this meal.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks guys. All the troops.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Badia Spices is the soul of cooking. Established in 1967 by Jose Badia, this high-quality spice company is still a family business under the leadership of Joseph Pepe Badia. Badia Spices delivers more than 350 different products, including an amazing line of organic products to 90 countries around the world. Badia Spices, the creators of the original complete seasoning, available at your local retailer.
That looks like a shake, doesn't it? Yeah, look at it.
This is Ted's territory. A place where things are inspired by the big sky spirit. And where you'll know, after your first bite, that it's something you'll find only at Ted's. Ted's Montana Grill.
We now turn to the man in charge of feeding the 3rd Infantry. He's the Chief of Thunder Run, who has trained for this moment for years. You see, there's no one better than Chef Nino, the man who feeds an army, to be ready for this week's Badia Spices Chef Challenge.
It's about that time. It's the Badia Spices Chef Challenge. Yeah! Hey, by the way, I had that crowd flown in just for you.
I appreciate that.
Well, that's because you're the man.
All right.
The Spice Challenge.
Okay.
I'll bring the spices, you bring the foods. Go.
All right, we're going to do a little take on shrimp and grits. In my Italian heritage, I'm a transplant down from Pennsylvania, but we're going to take a little Italian trip, if you will, through South Georgia here with some polenta, some roasted tomatoes. I'm going to take the juice from the roasted tomatoes, add a little bit of balsamic vinegar, and that's going to balance out our fish and grit. We have really nice sea bass today we caught. Good job on that.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. And a little bit of fennel as well. I can't forget our wonderful fresh fennel here. We're going to reduce that down as well.
All right, well, Chef Nino wants to start tripping Italian style. I'm tripping with you. Where are we going to start?
All right, well, let's start with the reduction of the side dish, essentially.
Okay.
All right, so we'll do a couple cloves of garlic.
So you know what my first question is?
Yes, sir.
Your love for cooking, where did it come from?
From my mom and from my sister. I have an older sister that actually opened an Italian restaurant in San Francisco years ago. And that's when I decided, hey, I'm going to get into the world of culinary.
Do you have any favorite dishes you like to prepare?
Well, I like to eat, so it can be anything.
You like
it really
to eat?
doesn't matter. Yes, sir, I do.
Twins, separated by a sandwich. I want you to name everything in there because I know some of y'all at home are going to try to make this right after you get through watching it.
We sliced down about 2 bulbs of fresh fennel and 1 Vidalia onion, and that's going to reduce down with that garlic and some of that great olive oil. So the other step that we haven't really looked at was the tomatoes. So basically I've quartered some beautiful Roma tomatoes, put them on a sheet tray, again with some Vidalia olive oil, seasoned them up a little bit with the complete, and then let them roast. all that juice started coming out of them as they dried up, and I collected some of that right here, which we're gonna reconstitute our sauce a little bit later on. Just enough to kind of give you some juice to go with that fish.
Garlic and parsley?
Garlic and parsley.
All right, you want me to shake this a little bit?
Please do, sir.
There's what I do right there. All right, so what are we gonna do with our fish?
So I have two beautiful fillets that we just brought in. We're gonna use the complete, and I found this one really appealing on a couple of different levels. I've used it on some vegetables, hence the name. I use it on fish right now, and I've also used it on chicken. And each time it really balanced that protein or that vegetable.
The minute you took that top off, you can just, the aroma is like infusing in the nose. And a lot of times people go, well, how do I mix these all together? Hit this up, you got a great place to start. You can work from there. Oh, man.
All right, I think we're ready to hit that with some of that sauce.
Come on, don't be bashful. You know what, let me help you out a little
bit.
All right. Because obviously you ain't getting things done quick enough for me, so. You trying to tell me that we're just gonna let this sit here for a minute?
We're good to go.
So that's done?
That's done.
Okay.
We could just eat that alone, I guess.
You know,
Call
I was
it a day.
just getting ready to say, I do have a fork in my hand.
That would be
probably wouldn't be
a tragedy not to enjoy this sea bass. Yes, I do. Yeah, let's see if we're ready to sizzle here. So we're gonna do that patented Italian flip and tong method. There it is. I got white stone ground grits and then polenta. We're gonna season it up just a little bit more.
There's just a lot of stuff going on
I put some green chilies, jalapenos.
Okay.
And a little bit of this cayenne. So
just a little bit?
Just a little bit. We'll add a little bit more.
Yeah, why don't you put just one more?
One more blast?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
All right,
okay.
There we go.
Looks marvelous.
Thank you.
Has a wonderful smell.
Let's do a skin up. What do you think?
I got that.
All right.
I got that. Don't be bad.
We'll give it a little two-tone
right.
look. Some of the fawns off of that fennel, and there we are.
That's what I was looking for.
There it is.
They say the proof is in the pudding. I already know what the tomatoes taste like with the fennel, but now I'm going to throw a little bit in there with the grits, a little bit of that fish. Sir, fist bump it.
All right.
Boy, that is
Thank you.
The Padilla Spices Chef Challenge. You know what? We just did it up Padilla style!
Next week, we continue this tribute to our troops as the soldiers of Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield embark on a high adrenaline shark fishing adventure, hit the links of Fort Stewart, and we pay back these troops with a Padilla-style feast courtesy Chef Nino himself. See you next week.